Hey everybody, again tuning into my Tegu video. You saw the little thumbnail pop up and you thought, hey, there's another Tegu video. Well, yep, you're right, there is a Tegu video. But I've got a lot to talk about. My dog just got out and my voice is going to be probably elevated. I need to lower it down a little bit. I got really hyped up. I was out here in the garage and then I had to go to the bathroom and I left the gate cracked open and the dog got out. And my neighborhood is a killing zone for animals. Some nice people, but the cars just will kill an animal. I mean, just that quick. And so my dog was out and I went around on my e-bike and I talked to everybody. They're like, yeah, we saw the dog, 20 minutes ago and it was just wandering around. Everyone said that, but I couldn't find the dog. And I was on my e-bike and that thing just hauls ass around the neighborhood. I went down the alleys. I went down streets and I was yelling, I almost lost my voice, but 30 minutes later, 45 minutes later, I found the dog and I grabbed the dog by the scruff of the neck and scolded her and she ran home and I followed her and she's now in the bathroom in quarantine I'm gonna leave her in there for 10 hours. I cannot, blows my mind that she got out. But enough of that. Okay, clear my mind. I've mentioned in other previous videos about my Tegus being, getting into the hide where I had the wires for the heating pad and they wind themselves up in the wires and just different videos where my Tegus like to get in boxes and get into boxes where I have wires and cords and all kinds of just long things in there that they get into and they burrow into, and they seem to like to have weight on top of them and they're compressed into a small area. Well, I want to make my Tegus happy. A happy Tegu is a healthier Tegu, and I love my Tegus, and if you love an animal, you want to make the very, very best of them. So here is my hide. I've documented videos with making this hide and making the large enclosure to pen, if you want to call it. It's in my house. I really overbuilt this. It's very heavy. It's got multiple layers of waterproofing paint that's called dry lock, and then I've got some enamel premium ultra latex paint that gave it a color and also adds protection. And I've also, just for those that don't know, gotta always assume people are tuning in for the first time. Here's the top, and this is, this hide is way overbuilt and so heavy. This piece is actually 2 pieces of board that were glued together and compressed and clamped down and then painted. If you wanted to and you threw this at some criminal coming at you, you would kill him. This thing is a weapon almost. It's that heavy, and just to make a joke out of that, this thing is massive. But so what I'm gonna do, I wanted to bring you along for the journey and show you what I'm going to do for this hide. Let me bring you in closer. My little camera is pretty lame, but it's what I got. It's a DJI Pocket 2. Wouldn't buy it again now that I have it. Okay, so here's the hide. What I'm going to do, and let me tilt it for you to help you see. It's a large hide, and I built it like this because, the Tegus are going to grow. I have 2 of them, Sassy and Mac. And don't ask me why, just when I designed it, I thought about this little protocol that keeps less light out of here. And they come in through the sides. See my hand right here? They come in, and then there's a hole right here. They come in, and so they come in, and they tend to like this. It's not a big deal. They I don't know. I think they like it. So then they come into here and they have this big area. So what I'm planning to do is make some dividers, put a board in here, a thin board, and then have a little tunnel that comes around to this down, and then they have to turn and go down this side, and then they're going to turn again, and then I'm going to build a little sub-chamber right in this area. And with my thinking, once I do that, then I can put a lot more dirt in there. I've kept in the past, up till just a few hours ago, hay in here, but the hay somehow Tegus don't have fur, and so I don't know how it sticks to them. But man, they carry out so much hay with them when they come in and out. I mean, I would have never imagined that the hay would stick to them, but it does. So I'm going to fill this up, fill it up with dirt so they can really maybe burrow in it. Maybe mix it in there with some dirt, some hay, or some cypress mulch, or I mean, just something I can get. There's not a lot of availability of cool, safe substrate that I feel comfortable with in this huge Dallas, Texas area. I go to places and everything has chemicals and fertilizers in it and everything I don't want. So I'm gonna have to work that out, but I just wanted to bring you along with the journey and just show you what it looks like now and then what it's gonna look like. I'm gonna have to use my saw. I don't have a table saw, but I'm going to use boards like this. They're actually pretty thin. I think it's 1/8 of an inch or something like that, but I'm gonna put them in there and I'm gonna cut them and I'm gonna make that channel that directs them around, that makes them kind of feel like they're more in a tunnel, and maybe they'll be happier, maybe they'll really be stoked with it. Once I have these hides are going to be what they're going to sleep in for brumation, and it's still like almost 90 degrees here today, but it gets down to 59 at night. And so, I mean, any day now, I mean, when it starts getting cooler during the day, I'm going to put them in here and leave them alone and not get them up. And they should start brumating, hibernating for people that, are not reptile people. But other than that, I just wanted to share it. So come along with me as I build this, and this transforms into a little special hide with a subchamber. I don't know how to others say it, a little tomb. Well, that's enough of me speaking here. We're going to get to some cutting. I'm going to make my cuts, estimations. The labyrinth of channels in there is not going to, it's going to be more complicated and just getting that stuff to fit in here and cut, since I don't have any precision tools. So I'm just going to make kind of a more of a T. Start holding it up too high, more of a T. And I'm going to just make a smaller chamber where they can come into the front and hopefully figure out that they can go around. And I rounded these edges pretty good, so that they don't, I don't know, they're not going to cut themselves, but I just rounded them, and then I'm just going to put those in there kind of like that and make a little bit smaller chamber and where they'll have to go around. So I'll show you that when I'm done with it, and a little bit more simple, but probably not overthought. Okay. All right, so here's my configuration that I've done. You just have to see this, but I wanted to show you all my clamps and my makeshift jig to get this board glued to the other one, and I'll show you more about that. But here it is. A few days later, of course, I just do things over when I have time, and I sporadically do things. I either want to just touch base. I plan things out and do drawings and things and meticulous, but sometimes I just go and I just cut and go wild, and I just look at something right there and I just immediately think of something and I just go at it with a saw and cut it. So this is what I've come up with, but I think this is going to be pretty cool, and I'm going to bring the camera over and show you what I did. All right, so here we have where the Tegu comes in. This is what I call a little portico. Like you could drive your car in and then get out of the rain and then come into your house. So this is the Tegu's house. It just, this being an afterthought, this is kind of trying to make this easier to do. So this is just going to be kind of like an entry, like to your house, an entry part to your house. With a table and a lamp and, carpet on the floor, and then you go to the other parts. But this is going to be minor. Hopefully the Tegus aren't going to spend much time there. Sassy might, but Mac probably won't. So hopefully they can figure out that I have a little, it rises up a little bit, and I'm going to show you why. And it has some little grooves cut in it to, you know, help them with their nails. It's not very steep at all. But what my plan was, I want to put dirt in here, and I'm going to mix some of that, you know, the hay, you know, the small animal hay in here, and I needed to have it where it's blocked off, and the dirt just wouldn't immediately flow out and be dragged out, and then, you know, in my room or wherever, you know, I want the dirt to stay in here with the hay. I'm going to try to make a good substrate, and so I needed to have it blocked off, and that's probably you know, 2 inches up, so I can have 2 inches of substrate in here, and here's the wall that I put in. So they come in here and have a little area to kind of figure out where they want to go. Then with the top on, this is all going to be dark, and they have like a little passageway that they can come up right here and then turn and then come into the main chamber. And like I said, I'm going to try to make this a little more homey in here where they can dig and feel a little more reptile-like in the wild. And obviously the top is going to fit on here, and it's going to fit pretty flush. And it's going to look like that. I go in there, and they're just going to have more of a little chambered type hide. This is actually a pretty big hide, and now it's even heavier. I was thinking about it'd be fun to put some little roller caster wheels on it, because if you were a woman or a smaller male and you weren't used to lifting heavy things, I mean, this would be a burden to move around. It's not light. It's probably 40-ish pounds. It's quite the build. But let me show you again. So you just come in and you take the top off. I got a little handle right here, and then that's the layout. So, and show you like I was a Tegu. I'm gonna flip my camera upside down. All right. After coming in from the garage, a little portico area, you're a Tegu and you're in here in the entryway, and you're like, I'm ready to go to bed. So you come over here, you go down the little hallway, up a little bit of an incline, and then you turn. And then you got your bedroom all right here. All the space. And it's smaller, so the Tegus will likely find this a little more homey, and they'll, I mean, Mac, when he gets 4 foot, 4.5 feet, I mean, it's going to be a tighter space, and that turn that they're going to make right there when they get up and they're like, I'm ready to go out of the hide, and they're going to come up here, come up the ledge. Go down the steps, and then there's out the doorway into the garage to take the car for a drive. But that's it. And I really appreciate you tuning in and watching my video. Like if you feel like you got something out of it, and check me out on the next video. Have a great day, great afternoon, wherever you are. Bye-bye.